This Jajanas, they also sacrifice the animals. So they believe in one god and they perform the Jajanas. Next is political life. Political life, the king and his area and how he ruled over his area. The most powerful person was the king. The king was the most powerful person. That is on page number 48. The political life, the king. In the Rig Vedic civilization, a number of joint families made a village. Villages were also there. The village that was known as a gram. And the group of villages, nowadays the group of villages is known as a tehsil. At that time it was known as the vish or clan. And group of wishes or a clan formed the jana. And group of wishes was known as the jana or the tribe. And the head of the tribe was the king. The village was known as the gram and the group of villages formed the vish or clan and the group of wishes was known as the jana or tribe and the head of the tribe was king. I hope the point is clear. At the time villages were there and group of villages wish was there and group of wishes the tribe was there and the head of the tribe was king. And the king was not powerful or despot. The meaning is clear. Absolute powers. That is also in word meaning. Despot means a king or ruler having absolute powers. He was not all powerful. He ruled with the wishes of tribe. He ruled with the wishes of the people of the tribe and he also defended the tribe from the enemies, from the attacks of the enemies. What was the work of the king? He saved his area from the enemies. His area was known as the tribe. And the people gave gifts to the king. The people offered gifts to the king and these gifts were known as the vali. Underline this. And later it became the regular tax that was known as the shulkas. In the starting, they gave the gifts to the king occasionally, but later these gifts became regular and these were known as the shulkas. And the king performed the jajnas. I told you jajnas. I have shown you the picture also. They performed the jajnas before the wars and after the victory. When they got the victory, they also performed the jajnas. Next is ministers, advisors and officials. Now we are going to discuss about the ministers who helped the king to run the administration. First was Prohita. He advised the king in the religious matters. Means he advised him whenever the king have to perform the jajnas because these are related to the religious matters. Second was Senani. As the name, from the name the meaning is clear. Head of the army. Senani was the head of the army. Gramini means that gram means village. So Gramini was the head of the village. These were the three people who helped the king to run the administration. First was Prohita, second was Senani and third was Gramini. Next, Sabha and Samiti. These were the assemblies which helps the king to run the administration. In spite of the ministers and advisors, the Sabha and Samiti was also there which helps the king to run the administration. Students, these both assemblies were found in the villages. These assemblies were found in the villages, Sabha and Samiti. Like these days, panchayats are there in villages. At that time, the Sabha and Samiti were there in the villages. Sabha, that was the small elected, underline this, that is on page number 49. The Sabha, that was a small selected group of elders. I am going to show you on the book also. Sabha was a small selected group of elders of the families. Underline this line. And this Sabha had the close contact with the king. It was close to the king. And the second was Samiti. It included the all members. You have to underline this also on the same page. The Samiti, on the other hand, consisted of all the people of the tribe. In Sabha, only elected persons were there, the elder persons were there, but in Samiti, all the people were there, and that was also known as a General Assembly. The Samiti was, question can be, which assembly is known as a General Assembly? The Samiti is known as a General Assembly, and these both took up all the important matters and helped the king to rule. Now next is the Vedic literature and the science. Next is the Vedic literature and science. We had done the Vedic literature. Vedic literature, all the books which were written during the early Vedic age and later Vedic age, like 4 Vedas, Puranas, Sutras, Upanishads. These were the books which were written during the Vedic civilization. These all collectively known as the Vedic literature. And the science, they had the knowledge of mathematics. The people of that time, they had the knowledge of mathematics, and at the time the mathematics was divided into different branches like geometry, algebra and arithmetic, and they also had the knowledge about the cubes, cube roots, square roots and the under roots. In spite of these, they had the knowledge of zero and the decimal system also. Astrology, they had the knowledge about solar and lunar eclipses and about the rotation and revolution of the earth. Revolution of the earth. And next is the later Vedic age. We had done the early Vedic age, their social life, their economic life, their political life. Now we are going to discuss the later Vedic age. That period starts from 1000 BC to 600 BC. That was the time when the Aryans shifted near the rivers Ganga and Yamuna. And the knowledge about this time comes from the literature which was written during this time. As I had already told you, the knowledge about this period come from the Upanishads, Puranas and the 2 epics which were written during that time, Mahabharata and Ramayana. These were the 2 epics which give us a knowledge about the later Vedic period. And so that's why it is also known as the epic age. And next is impact of the Aryan civilization. What we learnt from the Aryan civilization. That is on page number 50. The impact of the Aryan civilization. First, what we got from the Aryan civilization, Sanskrit language that was developed during the Aryan civilization. Second is developed agriculture. At that time, the agriculture was also developed. The farmers were there who cleared the forest and they started to do agriculture. And third, Ramayana and Mahabharata are the foundation of the present day Hindu religion. and Ramayana and Mahabharata, which were written at the time, they provide the foundation to the present Hindu religion. They are the religious books of the Hindus. The lords of later Vedic period like Brahma, Vishnu, they are the lords of later Vedic period. Shiva, Rama and Krishna are worshipped till now. Today we also worshipped these gods, and the teachings of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita continue to inspire people. Till now we are inspiring from the Bhagavad Gita that was written during that time. So these were the impacts of the Aryan civilization. We have learnt many things from the Aryan civilization. Students, our chapter is over. I hope you have learnt many things about the Aryan civilization.